Right.
You're going to lose that length.
Yeah.
So this is general to remember,
Yeah.
and it will vary, you know, depending on what the pose is doing. Or some people's proportions are slightly different than others. I've seen some people whose arms are way shorter than a head and 3/4.
Yeah.
But generally, the upper arm's a head and 3/4. The lower arm is a head and 1/4 from the elbow to the wrist.
Excellent.
And so the upper arm looks longer than the lower arm. Then you have the rib cage. I was talking about those three main masses. The rib cage itself is a head and 1/2. So whatever size you draw that head, you want that cage area to be about a head and 1/2 long. Then you have the pelvis. That's the next main mass of the skeleton. It's exactly one head length. So whatever size you draw that head, this area of the pelvis bones here, the hip bone, is going to be one head length in there. Then you have the longest and heaviest bone of the body, and that's the femur. And so it is 2 head lengths.
Okay.
And this is how you can check yourself on your gestures and everything. Wherever size you draw that head, I should be able to fit 2 of them from the widest point of the hips, which is the outside of the femur. You know that lovely area.
Our favorite area. Yeah.
Anyway, from there to my knee, I should be able to fit 2 of the heads that I drew in there. If it's a standing pose.
Right.
And not too foreshortened or anything. Then the upper or lower leg is the same as the upper arm, a head and 3/4. So the upper leg, which is 2 heads, looks longer than the lower leg. You want your upper arm to look longer than the lower arm. You see what I mean?
Yes.
And the lower arm was 1 1/4 heads. Yeah. And that would be if the person is standing straight on eye level.
Right.
So I'm going to gesture now the size of a head. And I have to guess. And this is why you gesture. Because if you sat there and did all this detail and got to the bottom, the head's too big and the feet look too small, you wouldn't want to start over.
Right.
And that seems to be the thing that really frustrates most people is they you know, they work so hard on the drawing that it's not right and then they don't want to change it. And you have to get over that.
Right.
You have to just
Because you
not
can
be
always
afraid to